In this project, I'm going to show, or in this video, I'm going to show you Project 6. The first thing that I did is I went ahead and created a project folder, and I copied my Valencia file geodatabase from my previous project in here. Notice it doesn't have that little cylinder shape here. The reason is because I'm looking at it through Windows Explorer and not Art Catalog. So if I went to Art Catalog and opened it up, then I would see just the file. Oops, hold on. I would see that if I repathed and connected to, where's my file? Again, I'm having to use a flash drive, which I don't recommend, but I have to because my desktop isn't powerful enough. So in this, you'll see my Project 6, and there's my database. So it looks like a database here, but if I'm looking in regular Windows Explorer, it looks like a file folder, just to let you know. So basically, I went ahead and copied over my database into Project 6. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to create an XY table in Excel. So I went ahead and opened up Excel, and I typed in the data just to save some time. So you want to pause this video and type it in. So what we have is benchmark information. So everybody that's had basic survey class knows what the benchmarks are and where they're located out by Building 11. So we've got the southwest benchmark, northwest, northeast, and southeast with their northing, eastings, and Z elevations. Now, we're going to save this data. So I'm going to go File, Save As, and I'm going to browse out to my folder, and it's going to be in my Project 6. Now, I saved it not as just a workbook because the newer versions of Excel have a different extension. So I'm going to save it out as 97 2003 workbook, and I'm going to call it Valencia College BMS. So I'm going to save it here. Now, when I do that, when I look at the projects, notice that I can't see it. There's no up here, view, refresh. Sometimes I'll have to close the complete Art Catalog down to bring it back up, but I go to view and refresh, and now I'm able to see the benchmarks in that folder. So what we're going to do now is we're going to expand this, and we can say it says benchmarks S. The reason that there's only one, and if you have one that has sheet 2, sheet 3, whatever, the reason is that means the tabs down here are getting brought in also. That's why I recommend making sure you right click and you rename it to benchmarks, and you can type in benchmarks here. Okay? So that's why mine says benchmarks. If yours just says sheet 1, sheet 2, don't worry about it. You can rename them later. The next thing that I want to do is on the benchmarks data, I want you to right click and export it from an XY table. So the X field is going to be my easting, my Y field is going to be my northern, and my elevation, my Z field is going to be my elevations. I'm going to go to my coordinates. I'm going to change my projected. Make sure you change these. So X is easting, Y is northing, Z is elevation. So now I'm going to go to my coordinate input system, and I'm going to pick State Plains, NAD 1983 Harn, US feet, and I'm going to come down to Florida State Plains East and go OK. All right. Now that I've done that, I'm going to make sure I save it out, and I'm going to save it in the Project 6 location, and I'm going to call it Valencia _ benchmarks. Take out the $sign. Go to the next page. Make it sure it's saved. Project 6, save, and now go OK, and I should have this pop up, the Valencia benchmark shapefile. So now I'm going to have to add it to my database because it's not inside my database. So I'm going to right click, and I'm going to import a feature class, single, let it think for a minute. I'm going to go to the Project 6 folder, and I'm going to pick my benchmarks, add that. I will give it an output name, and it's going to be called Valencia underscore benchmarks, and I'm going to click OK. It's going to think down here, shows feature classes being made, and up here will pop feature classes added. So when we click on it, and we take a look at the preview, here's the data. Alright, now I need to double check. I'm going to look at this information and see that it's proper. XY coordinates, 183. Okay, and close. Alright, now that we know that it's in there, we're going to go ahead and set up a database that, a feature class that we can create our project on. Okay, so right click on our database, and we are going to create a new feature class, and it is going to be called our project parcel. Project underscore parcel. It's going to be polygon and feature. Click next. Oh, I've already got one named that. So I'm going to say Valencia project parcel. Click next. Come over here, go to my next directions. So we are on the correct state plane coordinates. Go next. We're accepting the default resolution and the conversion. The default's fine, and the shape fine, and we're going to finish. Now what pops up over here is our Valencia parcel project. When we click on it, it'll look like this. There's nothing in it right now. We're going to be developing that. Alright, so this is the end of part 1, so the next video will go over how to create the map, and I'll open it up in ArcGIS.